NXT proving once again why it is the dominant show, the best show, the A show during the week of WWE programming. NXT, the A show. Especially because we finally got answers from Johnny Gargano in regards as to why he attacked Aleister Black, which we will be getting into later as the podcast goes. We wondered who it was for several months. We got who it was. And now that it was revealed that Johnny, revealed by himself, was the attacker of Aleister Black. Now he answers why he attacked Aleister Black. So we will find out and talk about that as the podcast goes. Now, the show opened tonight with a tag team match between Heavy Machinery and the Forgotten Sons. Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake, accompanied by Jackson Riker. Now, I must say, Heavy Machinery is good. Not good, they're great at what they do. I will be honest, I am not the biggest fan of Heavy Machinery. But, undoubtedly, they're very charismatic. And for two behemoths, they move like they are fucking cruiserweights in some instances. Which I'm like, wow. Like, that's ridiculous. So the match starts with the Forgotten Sons focusing on Otis's left arm. Hot tag to Tucker Knight by Otis. He starts decimating the Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake. And this is what I'm talking about as to how athletic these guys can be. Tucker Knight went up to the top corner rope and he did a front flip to land on Steve Cutler. And I'm like, wow, imagine a match between them and War Raiders. Like, a legit match. As War Raiders are the NXT Tag Champions. That will be a great match to see. Definitely. Superplex to Tucker Knight by Steve Cutler. Splash by Blake on the other side of the ring for a 2 count. But then Otis manages to pop up Blake for a pump handle slam for the win. And that was a devastating pop handle slam, by the way, which is great. And he covered them for the 1-2-3 victory. And I definitely am going to say this. The tag team division on both Raw and SmackDown are lacking like fucking no tomorrow. You can definitely say that Heavy Machinery will be a team. Okay, let's say this. If there's any team in NXT that WWE will be, main roster will be looking at to bring up, is Heavy Machinery. And where will they go, you ask? Definitely they're going to go to Monday Night Raw. You're not going to tell me that the B team or Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, or the Ascension, which they have not been in any sort of Ascension whatsoever since they debuted on Monday Night Raw back in 2015, are a legitimate threat to AOP. Heavy Machinery is definitely the biggest threat that AOP can face up on the main roster. So they were just crowned this past Monday as new Raw Tag Team Champions. Who are they going to face? There's no division. So do not be surprised if Heavy Machinery is brought up before the year ends. Before the year ends. That's as soon as I think they will be brought up to the main roster. Because seriously, they have no threat. AOP has no threat up in the main roster. So what are they going to do? They're just going to have them as a prop? The tag titles as a prop? Yeah, for now. But Heavy Machinery showing, how charismatic they could be, how very versatile they can be. And if I were to pick, who would I pick for as far as these two teams? I would definitely pick Heavy Machinery. They're the best of the two. The Forgotten Sons, I don't think they've been out in. They have not been displayed much long enough in NXT for me to really be invested in these individuals. I don't know. Like I watched them in house shows here in Florida, and I don't know. It's just not. I like their previous theme better. I don't like the current theme song that they have. I don't know. It just does not fit them. I like the other one better. But maybe I'm just speaking too soon. But out of the two teams, Heavy Machinery takes the edge. But we will see what the Forgotten Sons are about. I don't know. We'll see. After that, we have Candice LeRae is interviewed outside, and she is asked, "Where is the? Do you know where the mind of Gargano is currently?" And she says she's not saying anything in regards to her and Gargano, and she would like to keep that in between them. And she goes on to say, how come? What about Nikki Cross? Why don't y'all ask her questions? You're asking me questions. Has she answered any questions? And then she goes on to say that she's going to ask Regal for a match against Nikki Cross. That way she has nowhere to go and to see who is going to be the last person laughing when she's done. So, Candice LeRae here, last week we saw her with black tank top, black pants, black lipstick, her and Johnny Gargano, having a taste of the dark side. I think it's a thing now, where they are transitioning to heels. It might not be full-blown heels. I don't see the crowd booing the shit out of Candice LeRae, but when you put her against Nikki Cross, I'm more than positive Nikki Cross is going to get cheered the fuck out of, and as she is more over than Candice LeRae is, in my opinion, of course. So we'll see what happens with that, man. That match will probably be taking place next week, or better yet, at TakeOver War Games. It should not be short of a good match. It should be a great match, being how great both women are. And yeah, we will see. We will see. We might just see, more into the story behind why Johnny attacked Aleister Black by Nikki Cross. Maybe she has something else that she has to say that was not ever told or revealed by her. The only thing that she said is that she knew who he was and that he is here 2 weeks ago when Johnny attacked Aleister Black. So we'll see what happens with that, man. Then we have Kathy Kelly interviewing Shayna Baszler backstage, and the other two of the other horsewomen. I don't know their names. Kathy goes on to ask Shayna Baszler what she's going to do when Kairi Sane invokes her rematch clause. And Shayna Baszler goes on to say, you know what? I don't know how many times I've got to beat her. I'm tired of her. I'm tired of, having to face her. And that she stated that she is the first ever, bragged about how she is the first ever 2-time NXT Women's Champ. And in comes William Regal. And I'm more than positive that he was listening to the conversation, of course. And he states that Kairi Sane is indeed invoking her rematch clause, and that he is going to make the match official at the NXT TakeOver War Games. And this time, it will be a 2 out of 3 falls match, which I believe this will conclude the feud between them two. If you were to ask me who is going to win between the two, I would say my money is on Kairi Sane for the simple fact that Kairi Sane, I do not see her coming up to the main roster anytime soon, at least for the remainder of the year. As for Shayna Baszler and the rest of the 4 horsewomen, the other 2 members of the 4 horsewomen, I can see, I'm making a bold prediction. This is just my prediction. I can see them being brought up to the main roster to aid Ronda Rousey again and have her win her match against Becky Lynch at Survivor Series. Now, that might be just, I'm just talking out of my ass. I mean, it's just, it's just crazy, I don't think that's going to happen. Ronda Rousey, heel. No, I don't think so, Who knows? But I can see Kairi Sane beating Shayna Baszler. She drops the title to Kairi Sane at War Games. And then the next night, 3 of the 4 newly formed horsewomen aid Ronda Rousey to beat Becky Lynch. And once again, aiding her in a match to win. Who knows? Maybe that's a possibility. I can see that happening. But, we all know for a fact, let's just make it known that Shayna Baszler is way better than Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey is still green as fuck. I'm starting not to like her. I was okay with her, but I'm really starting not to really like her. She's just not in the right position. She's handcuffing the division up on Raw. And Shayna Baszler just comes off a little bit more natural, Her repertoire is more believable. She works great as a heel. And I would say that I would put Shayna Baszler in Ronda Rousey's position if I were to be running WWE. So, with that said, we had Dakota Kai versus Tainara Conti. This match, it was good for what it was. Physical back and forth match. Here, Dakota Kai wins with an inverted backstabber for the win. I can see Bayley and Dakota Kai, that bubbly baby face, innocent looking girl, but when her back's against the wall, she goes fucking crazy ass, kind of character. They would make a great tag team. If you're bringing the conversation of tag teams to contend for the soon to come to be a thing, women's tag team championships up on the main roster, Dakota Kai and Bayley will be a perfect fucking tag team right there. They're 2 innocent looking girls, when they have their backs against the walls, that's when they unleash hell, It was a good match for what it was. Nothing special here. Nothing that would continue on a feud. This is not even a feud. It was just a match to display, what they got, what they're about. So it was a good match for what it was. Then we have Kathy Kelly again backstage, and she interviews Mia Yim. And Mia Yim goes on to say and expresses how happy she is to be part of NXT and how grateful she is to be able to train at the Performance Center. As she goes on, Bianca Belair comes around Mia Yim, and she asks Kathy Kelly, why are you interviewing her? Well, what is she about? What's so special about her? She goes on to say how she's undefeated, and as she goes to say how she's undefeated, she says it in the most awkward and annoying way possible as she goes, I am Ted. And I'm like, can you stop? Can you stop chewing your gum like that? And then she just cracks her, she makes a sound, and it's like, oh my God, it was just awkward silence. If I was, I give props to Mia Yim and Kathy Kelly for just keeping their composure and not fucking laughing, because I was fucking laughing my ass off. I'm sorry. That was funny, but it was annoying as fuck. And then she goes on to say, I've been here for 2 years and I've been busting my ass, and I'm still waiting for my chance to compete, have a chance at the NXT Women's Championship. And then Mia Yim goes on to be like, I don't know what your problem is, and I don't know what you got going on, but you might be the EST, but I am the HBIC head baddie in charge. So that match was made official for next week's episode on NXT, so it should be great. I have to say, I'm behind Bianca Belair fully. Bianca Belair is amazing. Bianca Belair is fucking great at what she does. Her repertoire, the match that put her on the spot, I know for a fact, and I know everyone can agree, was last year's Mae Young Classic. Her match against Kairi Sane, great fucking match. No doubt about it. Ever since then, she's been on the rise, and she has done better. She's better. She's being seasoned. She's maturing. She's nothing short of great, man. And I fully support her in this match next week against Mia Yim. Mia Yim, I think she's good, but she's definitely, in need of maturing and transitioning into the WWE style, because you might be a seasoned player coming out from the outside, but NXT, WWE sees you as a rookie, so you know how that goes. But she's good, she's good. I like Mia Yim, but Bianca Belair definitely takes the edge here in those two. We have Keith Lee and Matt Riddle walking backstage, and we see Cassius Ohno sitting on a crate, and he welcomes Riddle to NXT, bro, and he refers to him as Regal's shiny new toy, and says that he likes to break shiny new toys. So I will not be surprised if, this is probably the beginning of a feud between Cassius Ohno and Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle, man, if it's 3 years that he's been in the wrestling business, I fucking am in full support of this man, and I am sold. This guy was great last week. Charismatic as fuck, over as a motherfucking fuck. That guy is going to be nothing short of awesome in NXT. And if I were to pick somebody to dethrone Brock Lesnar and to be a legit threat to Brock Lesnar, it's Matt Riddle. Being an MMA a fighter, yeah, definitely in the same background as Brock Lesnar. He can definitely be a threat to Brock Lesnar, and I will pay money to see that match. But I expect nothing less of Matt Riddle from here on out, and he's unique, man. Like, if you were to put the crop of NXT talent in a group, Matt Riddle is definitely one of those who will stand out. So I expect nothing but great things coming to Matt Riddle's way in the future. Then we finally have Johnny Gargano outside, and he is walking down the area where he confessed to knock out Aleister Black. And I'm going to play this clip here so you guys can listen to as to why Johnny Gargano attacked Aleister Black. Let's have a listen.
Why, Johnny, why? That's the question everyone's asking me. I've always been very open and very honest with the NXT universe. So you ask, I will tell. Aleister, you talk about a path you're on. I'm on a path too. Does it look familiar? This was the path I took the night you were found laying. The end of that path leads me to Tommaso Ciampa. The end of that path leads me to righting your wrong, fulfilling a promise, and me being the one to beat Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship. You got in the way. It's collateral damage. It's nothing personal. I'd like to think you'd appreciate that. Seeing as you walk around here like you own the place, black mask, whoever you want, no one bats an eye. Talking about how no man is ever truly good. No man is ever truly evil. I feel bad for you. You're confused. That's sad. I know exactly who I am. I'm the good guy. I'm the hero at the end of this story. I do one thing. One little thing that some people may consider evil. and everyone freaks out. Let me calm your worries. I'm still the same Johnny Gargano I always have been. I still fight for what's right. What I've learned is sometimes around here, you gotta fight a little dirty. So that's why, Aleister. Now I know you probably want to kick my face off now. That's fine. I accept that. Maybe I deserve that. But after everything I've been through, I'm not scared of you. I live in a dark place, Aleister. And I'm not afraid of the dark anymore. Actually, I'm kind of starting to like it. That look familiar? That's the same spot I left you laying. Take over War Games, I leave you laying again.
So there you have it, guys. Pretty much, he's stating that, he's a good guy, but if you get in my fucking way, I'm going to fuck you up, I'm going to take you out, and I'm going to get to where I want to get. Whether you send him away or not, but if you do, I'm going to make sure you're out. That is what Johnny Gargano said in that promo. He stated that he's the one that he wants to be the one to take out Ciampa, and it's great how NXT just uses a unfortunate event to their advantage to make a good out of a bad, Aleister Black got injured. They use it as an excuse. They not an excuse, but they turn it into they put it into storyline, and they have Johnny Gargano take him out. That's great. That is what lacks on the main roster. That attention to detail, little things like that. They take everything into consideration, and they think it out, and they just think it out in paper. Let's make that happen. Let's plug this into the storyline. To just keep it going. Make it interesting. Intrigue people to keep watching. To keep you wanting to come back for more. That's what WWE NXT does. So, there you go, man. Johnny Gargano confessing he did it. As to why he did it. And pretty much, saying that, he's actually starting to like the dark side. It just keeps you guessing, it's like, okay, so are you a good guy or you're a bad guy? Yeah, he says that, you don't have, the NXT universe doesn't have to worry. I'm still the Johnny Gargano that fights for what's right. But, in this case, I had to take him out. He got in my way. He got in my way into getting into Tommaso Ciampa's path, So, I mean, as far as Johnny Gargano goes, his popularity with the crowd, with the NXT crowd, it's dwindled. It's gone down, cooled off since way back in the beginning of the year in January at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. That was a fucking great match against Cien Almas. That was when he was fucking red hot, the hottest babyface in NXT. Now that role is Aleister Black's, And it's funny that while Aleister Black was the NXT champion, he was not even as hot as he is now without the championship. That just goes to show that not everyone needs a title to be legitimized, that you can only just get yourself over by how good you are. Of course, it has 50% to do with, what's written on from pen to paper backstage, by the officials, by creative. But of course, you got to execute it in a way where, you buy, you sell it to the people and then buy in. Aleister Black is great at everything he does, man. No question about it. It just goes to show sometimes that a feud, in this case, Ciampa's and Gargano's, it was just bigger than the title. And that's kind of crazy to say because no feud should be bigger than a main event championship. But that was the case here, And Aleister Black, I'm rooting for him in the War Games. As much as I like Gargano, I don't love Gargano, but I do love Aleister Black. So I'm cheering for Aleister Black. As far as Johnny Gargano and Ciampa, you already know. Ciampa, best heel in the fucking business. So we got that. And then we have Regal announced backstage that one member from both teams that will be competing at the War Games match will go head-to-head on a singles match next week to determine who will have the advantage at TakeOver War Games. Now, I bet my money that the Undisputed Era side is going to win because the baby faces, of course, have to overcome. That's no question about that. I know that for a fact that's going to be the case. And if it's not, weird, but that's what I think. It should be nothing short of a fucking great match. I mean, goddamn, last year's fucking War Games was absolutely crazy. I loved every single bit of it. And I can't wait for that match, man. I personally am rooting for the Undisputed Era. I can't help it. I am I'm a heel guy. I love my heels. So that's that. And then we have the main event, Velveteen Dream versus Lars Sullivan. Now, Velveteen Dream, of course, never ceases to amaze. Never ceases to fucking be a joy to watch. The crowd heavily behind him on this match as Lars works on his trapezius for most of the match on Dream. Dream tries to go for a superplex. Lars knocks him out of the corner, top rope. Lars Sullivan attempts a headbutt, but Dream rolls out of the way. Dream gets up. Lars gets up. Lars chases after Dream. Dream sidesteps. Has him hit the pull on the corner, and then picks up Lars Sullivan and hits the Death Valley Driver, and goes up to the corner, the side where the ramp comes, where the ramp is at, and I'm assuming he was going to go for the Purple Rainmaker, but out comes Ciampa, provides a distraction. Ciampa gets hit by Dream, who comes down and knocks him down. Back in goes Dream into the ring. But Lars hits the freak accident for the 1-2-3 win. And that was the match. It was great for the match. It was pretty much, it was entertaining. It was great. I love it. Lars is the fucking freak of nature, of course. That motherfucker is just huge. There's not one place on his body that's not muscular. It's crazy. And but great match here, man. Putting Velveteen Dream over as a babyface. Simple storytelling. Ciampa comes out, fucks over Dream. Everybody wanted Dream to win. That's how you get people behind somebody as a babyface. And after the match, Lars goes out. In comes Ciampa. Starts attacking Dream. Starts yelling at him. I'm the champ. I don't share my spotlight. You're not in my league. Keeps beating him down. And then Dream breaks off. Hits a super kick on Ciampa. And then hits a spinning DDT. And plants his face on Ciampa's face on the title. Grabs the title. Holds it up. Dream is being cheered by the crowd. Fully and completely behind his back. And that was the episode of NXT tonight. I can't wait for War Games, man. This is what's great about NXT, man. This is the difference between NXT and WWE's main roster. They don't display the same talent week in and week out. We saw Aleister Black last week. We didn't see him this week. We saw Matt Riddle last week for his debut. Cool. We didn't see him this week. We just saw him on a backstage segment. I'm here. Cool. Whatever. Awesome. It's not like Roman Reigns where you see the instance here where they fucking had him come in and out every single week as pretty much every single fucking talent that is displayed on TV every week up on the main roster. That's the problem. We get tired of them. I'm tired of the same people, you know? The same people we see week in and week out. Don't you think we get tired of them? You know, we might love them, but they lose their fucking aura. They lose the want and the hunger of wanting to see more. That is what WWE lacks in doing for us to have, is to wish to see more next week. That is what NXT excels on. In an hour, NXT manages to put in so plenty, but not so much to the point where you get too much. That's why Raw needs to go back to 2 hours. Okay? Both Raw and SmackDown need to be in 2 hours. But NXT, man, manages to get, put out enough in an hour, enough content for you to keep wanting to come back more for next week. Next week, we have Mia Yim versus Bianca Belair. And we have one member of the Undisputed Era and the War Raiders with Ricochet and Pete Dunne to compete next week to see who can win, to see who will win and have the events at War Games. I can't wait to see that. I can't wait for War Games as it is, 1 week from Saturday. I do apologize, guys, for the inconvenience as to how late I am uploading this NXT review. I tried last night and I had some technical issues. I don't know what happened with the application. I don't know how this application is going to have me sound. It might be weird. It might be a little bit lower quality, but I'm working on getting equipment, guys, for you to be able to see me. This is my third time attempting to record this, believe it or not. The other 3 files have corrupted, and I have no idea as to why they did, but that is the case. But I will not leave you guys hanging, of course, because I want you guys to, have content on my channel and listen to my NXT review. So without further ado, please, guys, like the video, subscribe, and turn on that bell for all notifications. Please share this video. Spread the word. The intensity. Hashtag, can you handle the intensity? Hashtag, oh, really now? Okay. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Shout out to my boy Kevin Gray for the graphics. Follow him on his profile on IG at atomickevin. Check out his work as a tattoo artist, which is fucking great. Follow me on Facebook at StayTrue92. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at In10sity Podcast. Please be safe. Have a good weekend. I will see you guys next week on Monday for Monday Night Raw's review. I'll see you guys later and have a great day.